All right, welcome back, everybody. Alex Espinoza is joining us today from 95.7 The Game. Congrats on the new gig, buddy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, guys. Glad to talk some A's baseball, dude.
Yeah,
Alex got a job.
Yeah, Alex got a job. He's not just blogging. He's not just blogging on Ricky Blogs anymore, huh?
Yeah, one day we'll be making money from that. One day we'll be making money from that. But I was working at a tiki bar before this, so it's nice to be back in the game, dude. Yeah.
Wait, which tiki bar?
In downtown Oakland, there's a bar called Con Tiki. It was a fun place to work. It was great, and I was working at Palmetto too, across the street from Fox. But hey, I made it through, dude.
I mean, you still frequent there a lot, though, right? I mean, you can't be.
Pretty much. They have a really, really good burger. I go there like once a week for the burger. It's really, really good.
Yeah, the burger. Sure.
Yeah, and the booze too. Yeah.
Yeah. What's it like not writing about the A's? They're writing about the Warriors now and shit.
It's fun, dude. It's kind of. I feel like I'm covering three teams at once. It's really hard to stay on top of like the Niners, the Giants, and the Warriors all at the same time, and then a little bit of the A's. But it's cool, man. But whenever I write an A's story, though, it just flows right out. It's just like so easy.
It's like natural for you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like a Ricky blog. Same deal, dude.
Yeah.
You also pick the best time for you to like start writing about the Warriors too, because holy shit, man! Like,
dude, they're so good again.
We are recording kind of late, 9:00 over here, but because you were covering the game against the Nets, and it was just a complete blowout, man. Like, God.
It's crazy. I mean, they're 12-2. I mean, Curry's like it's still at his absolute peak, and I don't know, and just the way they pass the ball and they play defense, it's like straight up like they used to play. So I don't know. It's fun to watch, man. They're must-see TV, dude. Yeah.
I think the best thing about their team is like they're 1 through 11. They play defense. Like that wasn't always the case in the past. They had like, especially last year, they had like specialists, like guys who could just score off the bench, guys who just play defense. Like now everybody's a 3-and-D guy. And everybody can pass. Everybody can kind of just create their own shot if they need to. It's fucking great.
It's just a fun brand. Yeah, for sure.
For those of you who don't follow him, make sure you follow him on Twitter. His Twitter handle is Alex Espinoza IV. I'm assuming the fourth. Is that what that was for?
Well, that's the fourth. Yeah, Alex Espinoza the fourth, baby. Yeah.
All right, we want to touch on a few things before we hop into our end of the season awards. So Gold Gloves were announced last week. Matt Chapman obviously got his again. I think everybody saw that coming. Sean Murphy, a surprise, a little bit of a surprise finalist, in my opinion. And the fact that he won the Gold Glove was even more shocking, which was pretty cool. Good way to start his young career. But Matt Olson did not win. A lot of A's fans are pretty upset about that. He got a little gypped on that one. What are your thoughts on the Gold Glove Awards? And what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you're pretty spot on. Like I was honestly surprised. Like when Murphy was listed as a finalist, I was like, oh damn, I thought Murph he had a good arm, like he threw some people out, but like Gold Glover, like and honestly I don't really watch enough of the rest of the league to know. But I mean Chapman, I figured, I mean of course he's gonna win. But I know a lot of people are pissed about Olsen, but I know he played a really good brand of defense, but like I said, I didn't watch Yuri Gurriel either. I don't know how good he was. Like he could have been making amazing plays all year, so I'm not sure. But I don't know. Nothing. As long as Chapman got his, I think everything's all right. Do
you think it's like a lack of like not getting like on highlight reels and shit like that Yuli Gurriel, because he plays the Astros, is going to be on SportsCenter every night, or if he makes a good play, that it's almost like they feel like they have to put him on there, because especially without Marcus, he won the Gold Glove for second base. Like no offense to him, he's great, but I feel like a lot of Matt Olson's like highlight reels from the past were balls that he had to dig out because Marcus, his throws are a little bit too short or something like that.
I guess. I mean, I don't know, but like Olsen has a reputation. Like it's one of those things where it kind of carries over year to year. He won it back to back, so I think he was definitely in people's. I think he had a big enough profile, but I don't know.
I kind of like that argument a little bit, where it's like, you had guys in the past who were a little more sporadic at short and second, where like Elvis. I think Elvis was pretty solid overall. You didn't see a lot of really hiccups from him. And then whether it's like TK or Jed at second, kind of the same thing. Like that's not a bad argument. And like maybe just kind of having to deal with like Gurriel with like not having Bregman majority of the season, kind of having to work a little overtime over there, getting balls from third, and Correa won a freaking platinum glove. So like wasn't the issue. But either way, I don't think any Astro deserves any award, period. So
that's what it comes down to. I think people are just pissed that the Astro won over A's, you know. Like if somebody from the Detroit Tigers won, they probably wouldn't be as much outrage.
Good for
him. Yeah. I'm sure he was a solid player this season. Yeah.
It's like last year was what's it, Eli White? No, was it Eli White from Seattle? Who I don't think he even played this year. Idea. Yeah, and
really?
Yeah, he was the dude who in his before he even reached the majors, they already signed into like a 5-year major league deal because people are like, dude, that's hella dirty. You're jipping this guy out on money he can make within the first couple of years kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he won a gold glove last year. And everyone's like, why the hell? But besides the point, just seeing Murph winning, I think that was the biggest thing. Everyone's like, oh shit. Like Murph.
That was shocking and really cool. I mean, I just, maybe because we watch him every day. So we see the times that he fucks up and you're just like, how the fuck did this happen?
Yeah. Well, I also think it's good. He's gonna hit arbitration. I think after next season. I think like this is his last like pre. So I mean, I think he just get himself a pay bump. He's got another another talking point in arbitration. Like him and his agent were probably high fiving after that. They're like, "Oh, sick! Now we can tout you as like one of the best defensive catchers in the game too."
Yeah. They were looking at his batting average. They're like, "Oh, we get this. Nice. Our stock's back up."
Yeah, they're like, "Oh yeah.
Bye."
Yeah. All right. The last thing before we jump into awards. So there's been a lot of rumors about Matt Olson going to the Yankees. Yankees Twitter is on fire. We have a friend, Robbie Schlatter, who decides to text us all day, every day, every rumor he's ever seen, and he's like sends us the tweets and everything, and all of the tweets aren't from verified people. So we're like, yeah, this guy's not a writer, so I don't know where his sources are coming from. What are your thoughts on that and where the direction that the offseason could potentially be going?
Well, I definitely think, I don't know. I think if they were to trade either one of them, I think Chapman actually makes more sense. I think, I don't know. Olsen is just so complete. Like he can actually kind of hold something together. Like Chapman, if you put him in the middle of the lineup, like I don't think he can really carry a lineup. Olsen can still carry the lineup. They'll probably be in the same price range. Chapman's defense is ridiculous, but if you have to, you could stick Pinder there, and that's like a cheap option they could do. And maybe they'll do that. But Olsen, I don't know. I think you always take it with a grain of salt with the Yankees. There's just so much hype around them and then reporters are really good at, even if it's not like a reported rumor, just writing a thing like, oh, I think this, but then people like latch onto it and then it just kind of gets a life of its own. But yeah, I don't know. I saw somebody put it best. They put like an all Yankees team in the offseason, and for each position they put like the best player who's available, and basically that player has been linked to the Yankees at some point. So it's like, it was really funny. It was like an all Yankees roster team. I gotta find it, but it was like it kind of summed it up perfectly, Yeah.
Like all Yankees like wish list?
Or all Yankees like rumor like. Somebody
so it's pretty much the best player at every position. Like
Somebody was just like,
ridiculous,
I don't know. It was just funny. Like somebody had a really funny tweet. It's like, according to Twitter, the Yankees are signing all these guys, and you look at it, it's like an all-star team of like this year's free agents, So yeah.
And yet they'll still lose in the first round or in the wild card game, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. They were texting me. They were just like, "Oh, if we get Marte, you gonna come sit in the bleachers with us?" I'm like, "No, what? That's so stupid." But I think the reason why it's not going to happen is besides the Sonny Gray trade, when has this front office trade to the Yankees?
Because doesn't Billy hate Cashman and hate the Stein brothers?
I don't know.
Maybe hate's a strong word, but he's not fond of them.
I feel like there's certain like Billy loves trading to like his guys, like he'll always do deals with the Padres, he'll always do a deal with the Diamondbacks.
Used to deal with the Mets a lot.
Yeah, so it's like something tells me like, and I honestly, if he gets traded, like I wouldn't be shocked if the Padres were like, "Yo, so this team take Eric Hosmer, we'll eat the contract. Hey Oakland, here's top prospects from Matt Olson. And I can see that like happening tomorrow more than a Yankees deal. But that's just because I know Billy likes working with those guys.
And then Olsen can reunite with Bomel. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I would read into too much of that. I mean, if they did one deal before, I don't think, they never done a deal with who, like the, Tampa Bay Rays. Do they hate the Tampa Bay Rays? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Hey, how dare you disrespect former Oakland great John Jaso?
But that's true. That's true. But to be fair, like for example, like everybody in like baseball and everybody's a fan at this point knows that the A's and the Giants never did a deal because Billy hated Brian Sabian. Like that was a known thing. He would even like fuck with him at times because that's how much they didn't like each other. So like those things do exist.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they go to that extent. All right.
But I do think they are going to trade like virtually, I think they'll maybe hold on to one of their three starters out of Bassett and Mania, but there's a very real chance that Olsen and Chapman are both gone, and two of the starters, and maybe they keep one of them. Like, but dude, it's gonna be bleak. Yeah,
it's gonna be
thank God for the Warriors,
again.
man.
Yeah,
thank God for the Warriors.
Yeah,
I hope you got your James Caprillion jerseys. Because
yeah. All right, let's hop into our end of the season awards. Julio and I do this every year for the existence of 2 years of this podcast. So this is our second annual one.
Woo,
and you're gonna join us this time. So
sweet.
I don't know, Julio. Do you want to start it off? We're gonna go from bottom to top of that list, right?
Hell yeah! So we're going to reverse order from what you sent to. So surprise. We're going to lead it off here with team player. This is the person that exemplifies just get and do whatever you need the team to do on a daily basis. And also somebody that you can tell just became like a big part of the clubhouse, big part of leadership within that team. And so for this year, my winner of the team player award goes to none other than Tony Kemp. Goddamn, every day that guy went in and did something special out in the field. He was at times like one of the best hitters for like durations. I think I want to petition that they should create a utility Gold Glove award because like he should have won it for all the shit he did throughout this year.
Alex, Julio's been on this for the past year, and honestly, it kind of makes a lot of sense. I mean, they have the flex award in the NFL.
Like utility man award of the year kind of
deal? Like a utility man, like Silver Slugger, a utility man Gold Glove.
You could easily get that sponsored too.
Yeah.
The Home Depot utility man of the year.
Literally, like football on the all 2 years ago, football on the all pro team, they added the flex award, like Alvin Kamara award a couple years ago.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But then I think you kind of waited. Yeah, I mean, they have, I guess they have like defensive and offensive for each position. Yeah, I guess they don't have like a DH of the year award, do they?
No, they do. It's like the Edgar Martinez award. Or something
really?
Like that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
But yeah, like Chris Taylor is like
would be named after him.
Guy.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But anyways, Tony Kemp. That's my team player of the year.
Yeah, he wouldn't win it. It would be Chris Taylor, but still, they should have it.
All right. Well, that's who I was gonna pick, but same deal.
Is there anything else you want to add on top of that? Like besides like
Alex, so who's your team player of the year?
I was gonna say Kemp too, but since you said Kemp, I'll say Matt Chapman. After they did after every win, they did a thing in the locker room where like they shot a little Nerf basketball. And I think he was the ringleader behind it because I was going through some old photos and he was like the referee. He was like in a referee uniform. Looks like he's kind of like leading the thing. So I think he's like the clubhouse leader, and everybody loved their clubhouse. So I'll go Chapman. Yeah,
we're gonna have the same fucking answers for all these
yeah,
things.
We are.
Yeah, mine's Tony Kemp too for all the obvious reasons.
I was gonna say Kemp. Yeah. But it was cool because like he kind of ingrained himself into the A's, the A's kingdom or whatever this year. Like when he was coming in this year, people didn't really know what to expect. And then by the end of it, he's just a huge fan favorite.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When you do it out in the field, especially with the bat, like his bat, like 10 folds was better this year. So when you do that, like obviously the fan base, and you're flying around the field, literally flying around the field, like the A's fans are going to fucking love that shit.
Yeah, I just gotta go quick shout out to Cortez on Twitter. He's the dude that's always making A's.
Yeah,
he's
I love
the one
Q.
that started. Yeah, he's every fucking where Tony Kemp.
Yeah.
That's the best. Like, there we go. Love him.
Yeah. Q always does the best stuff. Yeah.
Next up, future star. Who is somebody that, whether it's in the majors or the minors, that you just saw what they did throughout the season? You're like, yep, can't wait to see the future of this guy in the green and gold, whether again in the minors or the majors. Alex, we're gonna have you take the lead up on this one. Who are you giving your future star award to?
I'll give it to James Caprillion. I think.
Hell yeah.
I think. He just has to build up his arm. I mean, I think he threw the most innings he had since his. I think before his Tommy John surgery at UCLA. So I could be wrong on that. It could have been after, but basically this is his most, years and most innings in about like 5 years or 6 years or whatever. And, I think if he can build up to like 170, 180 next year and just be that bulldog, like I'm just really encouraged that he would get runners on, it seems like he'd always have a runner on first and second, but able to figure it out. So, obviously it's better if he doesn't have runners on, but the fact that he can kind of work through that stuff. And when he was on, I think he kind of faded down the stretch, just a matter of innings and stuff. But I think he could be, in the right circumstance, he could be their ace. They trade away everybody. He could be their ace as soon as next year, but I think he'll be like a top 2, top 3 guy for them for his career. Yeah.
Especially with Luzardo gone, he's kind of, and like Puck is just all over the place. You don't know if he's healthy. You don't know if he's just every other day he's got something going on. Like, I think he kind of is the guy that they have to build around for the future of the rotation, especially if they do end up getting rid of both those Bassett and Manaea. Like, there's not really much else in the farm system to that would be better,
Yeah. I think, I don't know. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. It was, like Luzardo was supposed to be the guy, but it ended up being Caprillion kind of out of the blue. I didn't really expect that this year,
Yeah, I agree with you too. I think the innings kind of took his toll on him, which is why he faded a little bit. But he'll strengthen himself up in the offseason, obviously. He's my pick too, by the way. He'll strengthen himself up in the offseason, and I think he'll be ready to go by spring training, and kind of be more prepared for it. All right, Julio, do you have anybody different, or is it the same thing?
I really thought we were all going to pick the same one, but I really think that I haven't had this much excitement for a prospect in years with Tyler Soderstrom.
Okay, I was going to say if someone,
we should at least.
Okay.
I think we should at least talk about him because he did break out in the minors this year.
Yeah, whether is he going to be our future catcher? Who knows? I know there are already kind of some early talks of him transitioning to go play first at some point, but just the fact that getting drafted last year and not really getting the chance to play at all, and then just completely dominating, being in the single A ball as well as like getting a part of the future stars game. Like, I don't remember the last time an A's drafted prospect where there's this much excitement for somebody. I don't think we're going to see him for a bit, but just having that kind of lingering there in the shadows to be like, when it's time, he'll be there. It's going to be awesome. So hopefully by the time he'll be like in his second or third year in the majors, we'll have Howard Terminal built and he'll be the main guy there. We'll see. But also want to give a quick shout out to, oh my God, why am I totally spacing out right now? Shortstop in the Olympics, AAA.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was going to say Logan Davidson because I get them mixed up sometimes, but
because they're both shortstops.
Yeah, exactly. We just love a good shortstop,
and they're both white guys.
That too, but just I think next year he'll probably be the winner for sure because he'll be
also
there every day.
I interesting thing I think people have to keep track of is Elvis's plate appearances, because if he gets 550 plate appearances next year, his option vest for the next year after that for like another 15 million or something like that.
Really?
And the A's do not want. Yeah, let me pull up the Spotrac right now. It's basically, it was like either 1,100 between these first 2 years or 550 next year. then yeah, his 2023 $15 million option guarantees, or it vests or whatever. So basically, like they need Nick Allen to be ready by August so they can put him in there and it doesn't look like bad, Otherwise, if Elvis gets 550 plate appearances, I mean, I know he got
defensively. He looked really good when he would come up and in the Olympics. But yeah, the bat was. I mean, he didn't really get. Because he had 541 plate appearances, so he needs 559, or basically 49. Basically he needs 550, and then he's guaranteed 15 million for 2023. So they do not want that to happen.
I can't wait till it's he's at 548. He's coming up for his next at bat, and some dude just runs on the field and breaks his leg, and just being like, "Oh no, what a tragedy!" How that happened.
Dude, if I'm being completely honest, I'll be shocked if he's on the roster next year. Like, I feel like he's like, if you're willing to like eat some of that contract, I feel like he's a piece that you probably need to move for that reason, and like just to like give Nick Allen like a full season shot. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if he has like a buyout. Like, obviously he's not gonna. He's not going to be like, okay, guys, I'll take $3 million and leave. He's going to be due. I think he's due like over 14 million or something, or 15 million or something. I don't know. So
maybe you can throw him in a trade with like a Matt Olson or something like that and get someone to take that contract.
I mean that would be huge if they can somehow get rid of Elvis's contract. That'd be huge. But
yeah,
that and Piscotty. I mean, I don't know who's going to take Piscotty, but
yeah.
That's a whole. Oh, geez, we'll have a whole podcast dedicated to
that. Real quick question: when do you guys think Soderstrom gets brought up?
I think he's still a couple. I think
he's 19 years old.
Yeah, so I think next year he spends the whole year in the league or in the minor leagues, and then the year after that. So what, 2023? Maybe that's the year because I mean he was in big league camp. He'll have spring training again next year, and then the year after that. So I guess 2023 is my ETA.
Yeah,
maybe like a I don't see him playing a full season in 2023, but maybe like a August September call up to kind of get those reps, and then 24 will be the
dude. If he goes off next year, he could get a September call up next year. If he goes off,
that would be insane because
I don't think so. But
I don't think we've ever seen a prospect, at least in recent years, get brought up when they're before the age of 23. So he would be 21 when that happens.
But you see other organizations do it, and it's like, if they can hit, and
it definitely works.
And he has a confidence. Like people rave about his confidence and stuff. So
no, I agree. It works. It worked with Chris Bryant. It worked with Bryce Harper. It worked with Mike Trout. But we've never seen the A's do that for whatever reason. I don't know why. I mean, they've drafted a lot of college guys in the past. Maybe that's part of it. But also, I don't know. Some of these big names.
The fact that you just said those names when comparing to Soderstrom just got me so excited.
I wasn't saying it for like the reasons of the potential. I was saying it for the reasons of the examples of that. Wander Franco would have probably been a little bit more calm comparison to that. All right, let's move on.
But still, that's all right. Anyways, next up, best acquisition. This can be somebody that was signed over the offseason or one of the many trades that went through right before the deadline.
We're all going to say the same guy.
Let's all say Starling Marte at the same time.
I know. Yeah, on three.
No, he's actually not mine.
So,
Chris, wow. Okay.
Go ahead and lead it off for us, man.
Josh Harrison.
Who's your best acquisition?
Josh Harrison is mine because Josh Harrison was like utility. He was like utility guy on steroids. He played everywhere on the fucking field when he came up. He kicked ass everywhere on the field. He was one of our most reliable hitters. When we added him and Starling obviously were our like most reliable hitters. They're consistent every day. I think he joined the team. He was hitting 291. I think he ended the season hitting like 292. And there was not a point where his batting average dipped when he was at the A's. It was always dancing around 290. Like that's just consistency at its best. And on top of that, the clubhouse loved him. Like when they had a walk-off like hit, like 5 days after they got him, he was the first one sprinting out of the dugout, like, let's fucking go. Like he was just like chemistry, everything about what he brought to the A's this season. Unfortunately the run ended early and they didn't make the playoffs, but everything he brought to the A's was just like so positive and so productive. Like I just feel like he should get some recognition for that. And yeah, Marte was great. and he filled in perfectly. But like Josh Harrison he was everywhere. It was great. He was Roy Kent.
Yeah, and the high stepping into second base, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just love. It's fun to watch players like that, and for whatever reason, like seeing him do that in a Kelly Green Oakland jersey, it was just kind of cool. It was just kind of like, this is like an A's player, you know? I don't know. It was kind of cool.
And he had like one of the best walk-up songs too.
What was the walk-up song?
I don't remember.
Where's Marty when you need him? Where is he?
Yeah.
Where's Martine?
Yeah. That didn't work. Let me look it up, but it's like an old like funk song.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember.
I just remember the first time I heard it, I'm like, yo, what? I was at the Coliseum and heard it. I'm like, what is this? It is Before I Let Go by Maze and Frankie Beverly.
Okay, I don't know that.
Yeah. Throw it on here, but like, damn, like I can't believe I missed this.
If the A's were like going to be in contention next year and they weren't going to sell the team, I feel like he definitely should be like the first person that they would resign, but they're not going to, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it makes sense. They need a second baseman for sure.
Yeah. And just the energy and everything. All right, so you guys both were going to do Marte, or
I was going to say Marte. Yeah, I was going to say Marte.
I was going to say, look, I was going to say Marte, but I'm going to go with the hipster pick. I'm going to go Andrew Chafin.
Okay.
I'm going to go with kind of a combination
the
of what
stash is RIP from Andrew Chafin.
That's what we should have like a legit pick and a hipster pick. That's hilarious.
Well, look, one, if we're gonna stick with the hipster theme, he's a big IPA guy, so appreciate that he got the stash for it. But besides that, I think his character just fits so well with that team and just fits so well with the city. You really got to appreciate it. But also, he was pretty kick-ass throughout this year. Obviously, the bullpen just complete dog shit at that second half of the season, but
he was the only reliable pitcher out of the bullpen.
Yeah, just having them as like a reliable guy there, it was really kind of reassuring. Where like when we lost faith in Lou and in Diekman and Petit, like, all right, well, Chafin's coming and we can at least trust him, kind of thing. And it didn't work out in the end, but honestly, just having him being around and just kind of becoming a fan of him so quickly, and like that's somebody that like, look, I'm gonna miss if we end up trading some of these guys that we've been here for years, but like, man, I'm gonna miss not having Chafin around. The dude was so much fun.
Yeah, he was solid. Yeah, super solid.
Yeah.
All right,
now said it perfectly though. He was just fun. It was fun. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Failed starter. Now let's go up to one of my things I'm most excited to talk about. Who was the worst acquisition? And I'll go ahead and lead it off. Mitch Moreland. Good God. Whew. I was thinking about this when I was like taking a shower before we recorded, and I was like, all right, who are some other people I want to think about? And I think what's going to be fun with Mitch Moreland is we're in like deep of the off season where baseball accounts are like, people you forgot were on this team. Like, oh, Jim Tomei with the Dodgers. I can't wait till we start seeing Mitch Moreland as an A. And then people were like, I forgot Mitch Moreland as an A.
Yeah, it was a forgettable stint. Yeah, he never really.
There was a time where he did have some like clutch hits a couple times, but I felt like for what was kind of the expectation of the role, like, look, the modern DH isn't a 30 home run, 100 RBI guy anymore. Like, I feel like those days are kind of gone. It's kind of a wash of, unless you're like Ohtani or Jordan or whatever. The odds are like, hey, get a guy who's going to get you at least 20 home runs or 15 to 20, guy who's a good on base, whatever. And just Mitch just wasn't at this at all this year. I think there was probably better options that were available at the time around the same price. I couldn't think of any off the top of my head. But like, and even like the second half of the season, I feel like we just didn't see him. I know there was like an injury, but there was never anything fully diagnosed. You might know a little more than we do, but you don't have to say anything. But like, it was just kind of weird. He just completely disappeared from the team, and that was it. And had this 1 year.
I don't really have any insights. I was on the outside too. I just was watching like you guys. Yeah, but no, I don't know what happened.
It was just and it sucks because I was so excited for that signing, like bringing a lefty in, a guy who was a career great hitter in Oakland, and just
playoff experience, World Series experience.
World Series. we were so excited, Chris and I, at the beginning of the year because we're like, hey, a lot of these guys that are getting brought in during this offseason, guess what? These are all like guys who've been in World Series, who've won World Series, who've played in big games. Like they're going to be impactful.
Yeah, they're all winners.
Yeah, like they were just impactful on the wrong side of it. So that's mine.
Alex, what's yours?
I mean, I had two picks. I was either going Moreland. This is kind of unfair because he never pitched, but Trevor Rosenthal. I mean,
it's fair because he took $10 million from us.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it was, $11 million into a pitch. He had an injury history coming in, so it was like a calculated gamble, and it just didn't work out. And really, that's why the bullpen was kind of behind the eight ball from the beginning. They just didn't have that reliable dude at the end. Melvin was mixing and matching from the start, and people just didn't have set roles. And I think that is important, kind of just knowing what your role is. And certain guys can handle being switched around, like Petit, you put him wherever, it's probably fine. But most guys, it's like good to know your role. Like, all right, I have the seventh, I have the eighth, I have the sixth, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, that just kind of had a whole trickle down effect on the entire year. That's I think why the bullpen just didn't work out. So yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks. And I mean, it was like deferred payments too. So John Fisher was probably like punching the air. He's like, damn, I got to pay this guy for another 2 years. Like, oh shit,
What's even crazier is like, if you look at some of the relievers that were available still at that time and how much they got paid for, Mark Belanson was like a criminally underpaid, and he was like probably the best closer in the National League, or like a top 5 closer in the National League.
I mean,
like,
I really
around the same range.
I mean, I really liked the signing when they did. I was like, oh shit, they're bold.
No,
like they got their best possible option for Hendricks, but then it didn't work out. So yeah.
I misunderstood the wording of this award. I thought it was just worst. I didn't see worst acquisition. I didn't see the acquisition part when he said that. Julio.
That was my fault. I forgot to include it. I thought it was
so I have Jake Diekman, but he wasn't worst. An acquisition. Just worst. He was the worst. But that doesn't count. So Mitch Moreland it is.
You can use him for the biggest disappointment in the.
No, I have someone else in there. So
he's bringing that.
So somebody's the worst and somebody's the biggest disappointment. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, our breakout player, who is a guy who just came out of left field. We're like, wow, this dude has got some talent, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do in the future. I guess it's kind of like not really the future star, kind of, but more of like veteran, whoever it could be. Alex, who's your guy?
I don't think he really came out of left field, but I'm gonna say Frankie Montas. I mean, just topping like 200 strikes and like kind of because like he always had this tendency, like he could like put it together for 3 or 4 starts in a row and be like, oh shit, Frankie's gonna be the guy. But then he would have like 3 or 4 bad starts in a row. But I feel like this year he was pretty consistent. He's probably our most consistent starter the whole year. I mean, besides Bassett, of course, who got hurt, but yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, Frankie kind of like at times he looked like the best pitcher on the staff, which is crazy how good Bassett was this year. But yeah, I'll probably go Frankie. I mean, topping 200 strikeouts, that was pretty good.
I want to roll back the tape from when we recorded our State of the A's at the All-Star break. Do you remember who I said? Who was my second half MVP?
Did you say Frankie?
Did you say Frankie? Yeah, wow. Nailed it.
It was, I know you said, Chris said Chappie.
Mm-hmm. It had to be him, yeah.
And then
he wasn't, and then we didn't make the
I remember, Alex, I can't remember who you picked.
I don't remember. That was so long ago, dude.
But then Jason
that was a long time ago.
It seems so. I know that was like 3 or 4 months ago. It seems like so long ago.
And then I remember
like the All-Star break. Like what?
Jason picked Cap.
Yeah,
but Frankie. I'll ride that Frankie train all day. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if we went to a wildcard game, he was the one I probably felt the most comfortable starting that game. Obviously, because Bassett was hurt, but which wasn't fair to him. But yeah, Julio, who'd you pick? Who'd you pick?
I went with somebody who, again, I'm gonna kind of give my little victory lap here a little bit. Cole Irvin. I know, like the last couple months, he kind of fell off a little bit, but up until that point, he was probably one of the most like reliable guys throughout the year for
That's a
being
really good call. Yeah.
for being like a guy.
He's a
who's gonna
capable
be-
starter.
Yeah. For
Yeah,
being
he's
a
for
guy
sure.
who was like a number 6 starter going into the season, Mike Fires goes down and he pretty much has to take that role. Against everybody not named Seattle, the dude was pretty good for what he
Yeah.
did. To kind of piggyback on what Alex was talking about with Cap, I'm kind of excited to see him with like a full off season of training. I know with the Phillies, he wasn't getting like a ton of reps out there, but also the Phillies just don't know what to do with pitchers too well. Is he going to be this ace? No. Will he be a 2 pitcher? Probably
No.
not. But I think is he going to be a guy you can go out there and have a reliable person? I think so. And
Middle of the
I think he deserves
rotation
a
guy.
credit for that.
Yeah, I think he could be. Yeah.
And plus, he loves killing the Angels, like every time.
Not good against the
And-
Mariners though.
Yeah, not the Mariners. And I just loved at the end of the season. He's like, he just owned up to it. He's like, you know what? I just said some shit and I was feeling ignorant and I don't believe it.
Yeah, I think his ERA is always going to be around like 3.7 or whatever, but he's going to eat innings, and that's a valuable guy to have in your
Yeah.
staff, So
And like
yeah.
now, like if you a guy who just has a career 3.7 ERA, like you'll take it.
Yeah.
Especially as like
Oh, yeah.
eventually when DHs get implemented in the NL, like hell yeah, you'll take that over for like a number 3 or 4 guy. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Mine is Tony Kemp. I mean, I feel like last year he was fine. Like he played that interesting, like he kind of played that utility role, like backup utility almost role behind Pinder when Pinder was hurt. But this year, like I feel like he really broke out. Like you had to put him in the batting order, like almost every, like I don't know, majority of the week because he was so effective and he was reliable, and especially toward the end of the season when it was like his bat, Josh Harrison's bat, Marte's bat, and Olsen's bat were like the only ones who were like really like putting like streaming together hits. Like it was just he was so important at like that 2 spot for that batting order. I think he could be an everyday player now, and he's shown that, and he's shown he can do on both sides of the field too. So yeah, he's my pick.
Yeah, he'll probably be the second baseman next year. You think, huh?
Yeah.
Every day? You think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Unless they
I fell in love with him this year for sure.
Unless they like completely overhaul the outfield, like if Canna's gone, which is probably going to happen, and then I mean, obviously Marte's going to be gone, so then Ramon won't come back till like what, like
halfway,
May,
or,
June?
yeah.
then they'll probably need him in the outfield. So then they'll have to get I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the moves that they make in the offseason. If they don't find a second baseman, then maybe
It's
that's
also
the
going
pick
to
that they
depend
make.
on who the manager. Like I just got so used to like how the A's operate with Melvin. Just like he'll just plug in. X, it's going to be interesting. Like who the new manager. Also, it's weird they don't have a new manager, right? Like they're just kind of waiting in this. It's
The
been
free
like
agency started. They should probably get someone, right?
it's been like 2 or 3 weeks. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Man. I gotta
The Mets
figure
don't have a manager yet.
that-
either.
the Mets. Yeah, they don't have.
Yeah.
They didn't even have a GM for a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Next up, we've got the biggest disappointment. So, who is a player where you were mad? You weren't mad at them at all. You were just disappointed in the performance this year. I'll go ahead and lead this one off. Ramon, come on. We were riding such a high for a week. We're like, damn, I think
That was the
this
beginning
team-
of the end, dude. That was the beginning.
That was
of
like
the
this
end.
team could legitimately be like, especially kind of seeing how things played out with the rest of the AL. I'm like, I think this team could be fucking make a deep run with that outfield, that rotation. Before the bullpen kind of completely fell off, we're like, this could be it, and then that just backbreaker every news.
I
Like,
mean,
within
imagine Ramon still in the lineup and like that offensive power and like reliability they could have had. Like then we're not looking so negatively at like the bullpen because maybe the starters go a little longer. Maybe there's a little bit longer of a leash that Bob Melvin has in the starters because they have run support.
And dude, he was like playing like before he got injured, like before, like in June, like there was multiple. And Alex, I don't remember if you wrote something about it, but people were like, "Damn, Ramon might be an all-star this year," and like people were really hyping it up. And then he got injured, and then got busted, and that was the end of it all. And it's not a performance disappointment. It's just like, damn, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have someone different, Alex? I have someone different.
Yeah, I got someone different. Jesus Luzardo. I think I mean, especially now, like hindsight's always 2020. Like, they just traded him away for Marte, and Marte's gone now. I mean, in the moment, I thought it was the right move to make, honestly, because Luzardo still is. He actually got, I think, put up worse numbers with the Marlins than he did with the A's. So maybe he's not the right guy, anyways. But it'd be nice to see if they can figure it out next year. But now they don't even have that option. Marte's gone.
Yeah.
And it's like just how much like Melvin was hyping him up into the season. He's like, this guy's going to be a frontline starter for us one day, all this stuff. It could have been this year. And then, he didn't even, he made it through like 7 or 8 starts and just got blew up, and that was it. So yeah, I'll probably go with Zardo.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt for sure, just because it just feels like a lesser version, but it feels like the Cespedes trade all over again, where it's like, we're going to get nothing out of this trade. Like, we just gave up one of our best assets for this rental, hoping that it's going to like get us where we need to go. And then it just absolutely fucking doesn't do that.
Yeah. Nothing. Yeah.
I haven't thought about that in like a month though. So like now I'm all depressed about it.
But in retrospective, Cespedes had like another couple years of production, and then just injuries caught up to him.
They should bring him back, dude. That'd be a good.
Oh god, dude, I was clamoring for it all offseason. I wanted him back so bad.
He wanted him back for DH so bad.
How old is he, dude? I'm gonna check it out. I bet he can still
30.
rake, dude.
Let's see.
You think mid 30s?
He's 36 now. He's 36 now. Oh, bro. Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Could be fun. Could be fun just to see a couple homers.
And he just like up and left, right? He just like quit one day, right? Like, yeah. And also Melvin isn't there. Yeah, Melvin isn't there anymore. So
yeah.
Hey, straight up though, how old was Jason Giambi when they re-signed him in 2009? He was probably the same age now.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a good call. I don't know.
Ooh, actually, all right. Chris, go ahead and look at what's yours. I'm gonna look up Jason Giambi's age.
Mine is Aramis Garcia. Massive disappointment. Alex Coffey came on this podcast. That's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut, dude.
Yeah, Alex Coffey came on this podcast in the preseason, and she gave us some pretty good info about Aramis Garcia and how the coaching staff was really high on him, and how he was a great power hitter, I think is what she said. That he could produce offensively as well as defensively. But we just, like last season, 2020, we had such a great 1-2 punch at catcher. There was like so much flexibility. All the pitchers like felt really good with Murphy and Jonah Heim. Obviously, we had to trade Jonah Heim to get the whole Elvis Andrus deal done. So then, me and Julio were constantly thinking like this entire offseason, like, okay, who's going to be the guy behind Murph, because we had such a great situation last year. And like, if one of those guys went down, you felt comfortable that the other guy could step up and being that like number one guy and like kind of hold it all together. This year was really lacking that. I felt like Murph had to he probably played a lot more than he should have, because there was just so there's no stability at that backup catcher spot. I'm really high on Austin Allen. I really wanted Austin Allen to be that guy in the offseason. I felt like every time he's gotten his shot, he's
kind of like be Jonah Heim 2.0. Just be like the lefty fucking guy who could hit dingers.
Yeah, basically. But I feel like Austin Allen always always did his job. He always was productive and
I
reliable.
think he was,
but Aramis Garcia, they bring him in, and he's just a fucking shit show in my opinion.
Well, I think for Allen it was like a defensive thing. I think just from what Melvin said, they I mean, obviously I never really watched him, so I have no idea, but just from what Melvin said, I think it was a defensive thing with Allen. So that was like the main concern. And if you can't handle a staff, then shit. I mean, is he scarred from Derek Norris just like defensively? is that why he doesn't want to fuck catchers like that anymore? Like, I mean, he's either way, man.
Aramis Garcia was supposed to be like a very there was a lot of
solid backup.
Yeah, solid backup, and he was not that. So hopefully, I think there's a
good chance we're gonna say the Rangers won that trade, just because if Jonah Heim just becomes, I don't think Jonah Heim's going to be like an all-star catcher by any chance, but if he can just become like a pretty serviceable major league catcher, which I think is going to happen, they're probably going to win that trade in the retrospect, and not by a lot.
Was he the starter last year for the Rangers? I think he was.
Yeah, he was the starter
at some point. Yeah, at some point, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Also, Jason Giambi was 38 when the A's signed him in 2009, and I didn't realize Jason Giambi played until he was like 43.
Yeah, he was like a role player for like he was 5 years after that.
He was basically just like a coach. He was just like he wasn't even like
He just turned 50 this year, so happy belated birthday by
wow, JC Giambi is 50. Holy shit. Wow. I have a photo with him when I was like 12 or 13 years old. Like, when you go on the field and they come around and take photos and shit. Yeah, me and my brother have one with him. Yeah.
Nice.
He's peak of his Balco era. Yeah.
You're so big, Mr. Giambi.
Yeah.
Well, just eat your vegetables, take your vitamins, little Alex, and you'll get there one day. Jeez. All right, next up, former Oakland great Cy Young. Right? Wasn't Cy Young or former athletic great, I think. There's he had like a year.
Was Cy Young on the A's? I didn't know that.
I swear to God, I saw that somewhere. Somebody brought it up one time and I'm like, wait? I'm like, what? Or, anyways.
I'm Googling it right now. Go ahead.
The A's Cy Young Award winner who he wasn't a part of the A's. My mistake.
No, he did not play for the fucking A's, dude.
I got him confused. There's another like old-timey pitcher who was like,
he played for the Cleveland Spiders.
The St. Louis Perfecto.
They should have went to the Spiders. That's so much cooler than the Guardians. That is so much cooler. And just think of all the logos and everything.
And then the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Hold on. I got to
best
let my
pitcher
dog
of the
out.
year.
Hold on. 1 second. Hold on. I got to let my dog out. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Oh, hey. From the makers, this is a prequel to Who Let the Dogs Out, Chris. This is Who Let the Dogs In. And we're going to tell everybody.
I'm back.
I like how you like pointed your light in the background to your bobbleheads. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
nice. All right. Anyway,
it has its purpose. Chris, who is your Cy Young Award winner for the Oakland Athletics this year?
Even though he got hurt, it's Seabass. He was having a Cy Young caliber year before he got hurt. It was a fluke injury. When he came back, he had that amazing game that got a standing ovation because it was just so much fun to see him out there, even though he had a pitching limit. So yeah, it's him. He's gonna be the ace of unfortunately another team next year, but it was fun while it was a lot of fun while it lasted. He's also he's a great follow on Twitter. He's just such a fucking dope dude. I want him to be my best friend. So Chris, if you're listening, you got another Chris out here who is looking for a best friend. So let's do it. Let's do it, buddy. And you're always welcome on this podcast. So that's mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bassett too. I mean, also it was cool because he kind of established himself as like the vocal leader of the team as the season went on, and I mean, it really sucked that he got hurt, but the fact that he came back, I think, kind of even though they were pretty much out of it by that point, just kind of really showed you what he's all about, and he had like nothing to gain from it, really, and he still did it just because he wanted to, because he loves the game so much. And he's like you said, he's hilarious on Twitter. Like, I don't know. Because social media game matters in this year's Cy Young, but I'll probably go Bassett too.
I'm going Frankie. I'm staying with my prediction.
Homer.
He's just taking his
Homer pick. I was legitimately disappointed that he wasn't at least like in consideration for Cy Young to end the season. He was arguably the best pitcher in the American League the second half of the season, with like Lance Lynn going through injuries. Garrett Cole had some injury issues, and plus he had like some pretty poop starts. And Frankie, I think probably outside, I think he had like a bad start in Toronto, and there's like one more off the top of my head. He was consistently like one of the best pitchers in the American League. And it's just awesome because like we've seen him do this in the past, in 2019 before he got busted for steroids and all that. I think we saw those signs of it, and like the second half of the season, it clicked. And will this hold up to next year? We'll see. is this maybe probably the best time to sell this guy now as the price has never been higher? Maybe. But for what he did for the second half of the season, especially after Seabass got hurt, that he's my award winner for that one.
I think if they make the playoffs, and like have that run at least till like game 162, because they were out of it like 158 or something like that. I think that kind of sparks writers a little bit more to where, like, before they turn their ballot in the last day of the season, like they're thinking about it. You know what I mean? It's on their mind. So maybe he gets some more votes, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I can't get inside the mind of a writer. Maybe Alex can. Let us know.
No, I don't know, dude. I actually think it's weird.
No,
like,
I don't know, dude.
Like the National League, it was weird because I was looking at the the National League Manager of the Year voting. I'm like, it's still kind of weird that media members vote on official awards. Like, I don't know. Like, our writers. I guess I don't know who else would be more qualified, but. Like,
I think they are the most qualified because they're the ones like actually watching every day, and they're watching every team, and they're they really like are paying attention. They have, in order to like write a good piece, they have to like have all this information in front of them. Whereas like a manager, maybe he knows a little bit of the scouting report, but he's not watching like the fucking Phillies play every single day.
They're so focused on their own deal.
Yeah, players definitely don't either. They're going to be like biased in some way. So
and like we've seen that, and kind of like go off on that what Chris was saying about like having a manager vote, a player vote, whatever. We've seen that kind of also go the bad way in like NBA All-Star voting the last couple of years, because I think like the players get to choose now. There's some pretty suspect people who are like, dude, you're not an All-Star this year, but like you're boys with these guys. But yeah, we'll see. I just Frankie fully deserves some recognition. When we see the full ballot voting, maybe we'll see something there, but besides the point.
Side note, they just showed an NBA commercial where Kevin Durant was wearing an A's hat, so that's cool.
Oh, it's in the commercial now. That's cool.
There's like this commercial where they're interviewing a bunch of NBA players, and he's wearing that A's hat that he always wears.
It's like the only marketing the A's are gonna. They're like, oh, sweet, we can cut our marketing budget back even more now. Great.
All right,
people? Let's bring up this picture of Bruno Mars from 6 years ago. He's big again. Let's bring that picture of him in A's jersey. Awesome. All right, last but not least, who is the Oakland A's MVP of the award? And I think this is something that we can all say.
This is unanimous. A unanimous MVP.
All right, count of three. 1, 2, 3. Ollie.
The future first man of the New York Yankees, according to Robbie Schlatter.
Raymond Goodwin.
Also, Julio, we have to settle this once and for all. It's pronounced Oli, bro. It's Oli. Dallas says it. He says on the broadcast all the time. It's Oli, not Ollie.
Oli for Sholey. That's how I remember Oli for Sholey.
Yeah, but like, what else can we say this year? It was the craziest thing was I saw I think it was Bleacher Report or some media that thinks they know stuff about baseball, but they showed like, who's the top 10 first baseman in baseball? Vladdy's one, which I get it. Finally, Matt Olson was number 2. Like, we've been clamoring all year, like not just us, like A's fan base. Like, this guy's been amazing. Like, this guy is arguably the best first baseman in baseball, and like to kind of see it on a national level as the trade rumors are happening. It's still great. Like, he's finally getting his dues. He should have won a Gold Glove, but still, he got his All-Star nod. He's in the Home Run Derby. I think he's becoming more of a familiar name around baseball. And like, the dude deserves it.
Yeah, I think, because he was super. Because I remember during spring training, people were saying like, "Oh, Matt Olson," or he was telling us, he's like, "Yo, I figured out something in my swing. Like, I have way better plate coverage." I mean, he put up crazy numbers in spring, and then he actually kept it up all year, which is like, I think at like one lull, which every hitter goes through lulls, but like pretty much he was doing it all year, dude. And then he was coming up clutch too. It was like he was actually getting, like, he won them some games. It wasn't just like meaningless stats. Like, he actually won them some. Well, I guess ultimately it was meaningless, but he won them some games, dude. So and he did on both sides. So yeah,
I'm super curious to see where he ends up landing in the MVP voting. I would assume like 6 or 7, but yeah, I want to see how many votes he gets and stuff like that.
You guys think you think Otani's gonna win it? He's got to, right? Yeah. Or do you guys think Vlad has a chance?
No. Otani, Bob Costas explained Otani like really well on Dan Patrick a few months ago, and so every player in Major League Baseball, they account for one person.
Yeah.
There's some players like Vladimir Guerrero. He's so good where he counts for just a little bit more than one person. Like the stats and all, they all kind of equal out where it's like maybe 1.2 person, 1.5 person. Otani will always, no matter what, whether he's hitting bad one year or if he's pitching bad one year, he still is always going to account for two people on your roster. So if he's at the top of his game like he is this year, he's counting for like 2.5 people on your roster. So because of that, he should always be in consideration for the MVP because no one else in the league is two people except for him. Just because he does because he pitches and hits. But yeah.
I was going to say, I think he should be a landslide for the sake of like, we've seen kind of his injury history in the past, at least as a pitcher. And I think in my opinion, I don't know how sustainable this will be. I'm like, you got to give this award to him while he was at his absolute peak. If this is his peak, But what you said though, about he's going to Oli being six or seven, who would you put in front of him? Like, it's going to be,
Simeon
Otani,
and
Vladdy, Simeon.
Yeah.
But who's going to be, who would you put 4, 5, 6?
Correct. Probably going to be in there. Salvi.
Aaron Judge, probably.
I would put Olsen.
As much as you hate to say it,
like
Aaron Judge is going to be like, he'll be right there.
I think Salvi would be ahead of him. Or I don't know if Salvi would be ahead of him, but
Salvi should be ahead of him.
Salvi should be 4.
Yeah. And then I don't know after that though.
I wouldn't put Judge in front of Olsen.
Aaron Judge was awesome this year. Like, I don't want to admit it, but Aaron Judge was he was healthy all year. I think, did he win the gold glove? He should have. I know he's been a pretty damn good outfielder, or he was at least nominated. But like, I think peak Matt Olson should finish like 5th.
Would you put Tim Anderson over Olsen? No, probably not.
I'd put Olsen probably 5th.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I just don't know if the rest of baseball writing community will do that. So we'll see. All right. That's going to do it for us for our A's Awards. Alex, thanks for joining us again, buddy.
Thank you guys. That was great. It's fun talking A's.
I'm just noticing the A's neon Budweiser light in the back, too. You just got a dope-ass setup back there.
I got to set it up for the TV,
Fuck with it.
YouTube, dude. Yeah.
Make sure to give
I got that off eBay. It took like 3 months or something to get here. And I told her, I was like, don't even worry about it. Just send me my money back. She's like, oh, no, I got it. And all of a sudden it showed up. I was like, oh, that's what it took. Jeez.
Did you outbid just some Carnival Kid 3000? I just watched I Love You Man and that scene where he's like walking into his backyard and like walks by the bumper car. He's like, yeah, I outbid Carnival Kid 3000. Had to get it on the buy it now price.
I know, basically.
Alex, you got anything to plug?
Yeah, plug your shit.
Make sure you give him a follow. Alex Espinoza, OIV, the 4th on Twitter.
No, it's cool. I still do want to write A's stuff. I still want to do Ricky Block stuff, but I just feel on my free time I don't want to do sports writing anymore. So it's kind of hard to figure out that balance. But
yeah,
one of these days I'll probably write something like, if they get a manager or something, I'll probably write something. But yeah, I don't know. I need to do a podcast too. I need to keep it fresh because I don't know. I love doing Ricky Block stuff. It's still fun. So I still have a life. My bosses said I can still do it. So I might. I still got to figure it out what it's going to look like next year, but I still want to keep it alive at some point. I still want to do something with it. So maybe just a podcast or something. But so yeah, you can follow Twitter, Instagram at Ricky Blog. Yeah.
And if you're looking for Warriors content, he's writing Warriors stuff right now. So check that out.
I'll be covering the Warriors for the rest of the year and They're looking good, dude. Yeah.
Dude,
Sure to listen to 95.7 The Game.
Oh yeah.
the former home of the Oakland A's, not so much anymore. All right,
Yeah.
it's gonna do it. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming on, and we'll be back once free agency starts going. So, last but not least, Julio.
Let's go, Oakland.